started here. I would first like to recognize Dr. Baruti. He was one of the first people that came down to occupy St. Louis in an official capacity from an organization, the Universal African Peoples Organization. His group was actually the first organization to endorse Occupy St. Louis. So thank you so much.
Everybody else has been out here who's been dedicated to maintain Occupy St. Louis. Let's give everybody, those who've been here to maintain Occupy St. Louis deserve a well-deserved round of applause. I'm here to deal with a sensitive issue, but it's a real issue. And that is, Kathy was mentioning the racial oppression of St. Louis. I'm taking it further than that throughout this country, as well as throughout the world. It's an issue of the 21st century, and I'm down here to challenge you, the future leaders, that is an issue that has to be paramount, and that as the future leader, seizing power, because in order to deal with the issues that I believe that need to be dealt with, we have to have a redirection of those who control the power here in this city, in this state, and in this country. Does that make sense? Because no matter how many times we be protesting out here, and our rights are, our demands are righteous, it don't mean a hill of beans until we are sufficiently organized to be able to control the decisions that impact our lives. I hope that makes sense. So to that end, in terms of the racial oppression of black people, all you got to do, first of all, statistically, analyze all the kinds of statistics that are available, and it will prove out that even though there is a person of color that holds the highest office in this country, racism and the oppression of black people is endemic here in this society and need to be addressed. Let me give you some classic examples. And many of our examples also are cited in a variety of newspapers that we have published over the years, including one that pointed out statistically here in this country, when you look at the prisons, which we call a prison industrial industry, that black males in this society are 6% at birth. Yet, if you look at all the jails in this country, black people fill up the jails, black males, 60, 70, 80%. Not just here in the city of St. Louis, but again, all across this country. When you look at another clear example nationally of racism and oppression, all we got to do is look at the drug laws of this society, which now I understand there's a legislation or executive order coming from Obama trying to reduce the disparity of sentencing for two drugs that of a whole lot of usage here in this country. Which then, why are so many people drugged out too? We haven't looked at that as an issue. Because of, again, that's a reflection of the ongoing oppression that people, both black and white, feel, but there's a greater intensity, I would like to feel and say, in our community, because again, we are disproportionately impacted. But going back to that law, crack, which is a drug use that has already been known to be a poor man's drug, used many times in the black communities. But if you have a possession of crack compared to the possession of powdered cocaine, which has been proven statistically is the drug use basically of white Americans, that you will see in the sentencing that even for a small quantity of crack versus a large, if a person is caught with a large quantity, the sentencing for the person with the least in terms of crack is greater. Therefore, this so-called drug war, in my humble opinion, was designed as a tool for racial oppression to target the black community at a high level, and with the incarceration that I just spoke to being a an effect of a policy that's based on racism.